So, more from the SPQR line. This time we're looking at the mounted unit. So this is the first time we've had a look at anything on a slightly larger base for the Celts. Slightly different tactics come into play when you have the mounted units. If they're melted, get in touch with customer services.
You shouldn't have that issue.
We'll sort you some new ones out. Unless you melted them, then just no. But if you want to sort of build your army out with some horsemen, this is how the horse units have always come with the warlord stuff.
Yeah,
this little
it's simple, it works, it keeps everything safe in the box.
Keeps it nice and tidy. Yeah. So, again, because we're using... Are these the new resins? I believe they are.
Yes, all new resin, yeah.
So, the new resins, 2 pieces. Horses.
Yeah.
And the people riding them with their weapons and so on. So, I'm going to give Charlie these to have a fiddle with.
Yeah.
Or build would probably be a better use of his time. And I'm going to talk to you about them for a little bit. So, we don't need that. Large bases, quite large, cool-looking units, and as before, really cool-looking artwork on the box. This comes with 6 mounted miniatures. Now, these are a bit more expensive for the Celtic army. It's probably one of the most expensive units outside of the hero, so you can't get too many of them in there. And you don't have the same rules as like groups of 10 of them with the melee attack. They've got slightly different rules when you start to use mounted units. But they can still use javelins. They can still be kitted up with additional armour, making them quite tough, and they can still have increase like the chainmail. You can have horns and you can have standards, so they can still have their multiple attacks. As you've seen me in the play videos, I make use of the war horns quite a lot, pretty much every time. Horsemen also have, if you don't suit them up to the same level as the tougher warriors, they don't have the chainmail shirts, they have the hit and run ability, which is detailed in the rulebook, allowing you to basically charge and keep moving. It allows them to be more agile, move around a lot more.
You passed me the glue.
Charlie needs the glue. There you go. So Charlie's just popping one of them together while I'm talking, just to show you how easy it is. He's literally just using snips. We have the craft knife and some mold line removers, but these, like pretty much across the board, have come out of the molds really well. The only ones that we've really had to remove much flashing from were the very detailed slingers. So yeah, this is what you get in the box of 6 horsemen for the Celts.
Yeah, cavalry are... They just, like I said, they give you a completely different element in the game. So instead of sort of sitting around waiting for your opponent to sort of come at you, you've got that ability to react fast, because I don't know if you mentioned they have like a double move.
Yeah.
So once per turn, once per activation, instead of when they make a move or a charge, they can double that distance. So have you gone through the? So I think there's 6 inches normally.
Yeah.
So a normal move will be 6 inches, which they can then follow up with a 12-inch move or a 12-inch melee action to get them into combat.
They're also 2 wounds, so they're probably one of the toughest base units that the Celts have access to.
Have you seen what armour they've got as well?
Their base armour, let's have a look, +1, but you have to purchase leather and chainmail for them.
Okay, so if you give them leather, if you give them chainmail,
yeah,
that's going to put them onto +4.
Yeah, making them very tough.
Yeah.
But you lose the hit and run ability. So I play mine very punchy, very fast, so I will probably not have these guys very well armoured. But Charlie, being a Roman, probably is going to insist that they would be well armoured if he was playing them.
Yeah, you can't come to a battle without wearing some mail or at least a little bit of leather.
My guys wear...
Your guys wear nothing.
They're covered from head to toe in mail flesh. Just naked.
Yes.
Which is a rule, the Skyclad rule. There are rules to have a completely naked army.
There are, yes. Which I imagine at some point we're going to be subject to from yourself.
On Goblin After Dark.
So yeah, this guy is all done. Give that glue a second to set.
You can tell me what to do.
Yeah, it gives you an idea of just how quickly I
lost my marker that I was putting these on.
There's a number of horse variations in the box.
These are fantastic. The pose on this guy, I'm just going to have to pass this over to Charlie because he's got a little side camera over there. But the pose on this guy is fantastic.
It is a great pose, isn't it?
I'm afraid to paint this because it's too good.
It's a lovely pose, and you have weapon options. So I've given him the sword because of the pose that he's got with his sort of his arm out as it is.
Yeah.
You could easily pop one of the spears or javelins.
So he'd be
in there.
coming in with a javelin.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I really like them. They are lovely models, and there's a number of different variations in the men. So there's two of the others there.
They're all all of them are totally different. That's
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
where are the other ones gone?
6 guys,
Yeah.
each with pretty individual sculpts. In fact, they are all completely individual, which is really nice.
Which is cool. Now, to run all 6 of these, you're looking at around 170-ish denarii. So these are going to be used either in specific scenario setups or when you start to push your fights into larger scales.
Indeed, yes.
Saying
that, Gallic warriors are cheap.
They are.
So you could still get a good 10 to 20 man unit alongside these with a low costed hero.
So what was that, like 160?
About 160-ish.
Plus 180 for 20 warriors, or 20 warriors before armor and before upgrades.
Yeah.
So you're looking at pushing close to the 350. You could get a base hero in there too.
Easily. So yeah, and there come lots of options. You can give them chainmail swords, you can give them the horn, the standard, helmets, leather, javelins, etc. So they've got lots of options, which is great. So
yeah, grand. So, for me, I feel that once you're starting to expand past the base set, this is where you should be looking. The more expensive units, the slightly more advanced rules, because these are getting to be more advanced rules now with the hit and run, the movement changes, and the increased points cost. But we will be putting these into our scenario as well. So in the coming weeks, we're going to be having a nice, big, we'll probably live stream it in one of the Tuesday evening slots, SPQR battle. So we're using these. Anyway, that's it for this unboxing. There's plenty more to come. Thank you very much for joining us.
cheers. Cool. They are nice. I really like these guys.
Yeah, they're really, really nice.
The